Hello and welcome to the Swan Song Project Podcast. My name is Ben Buddy Slack and I'm the founder of the Swan Song Project. We're a charity that helps people face into their lives to write and record their own original songs. These podcasts feature a range of songwriters and we talk about music and bereavement. This episode features Mark Whiteside, also known as One-Sided Horse, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, today I'm here with One-Sided Horse. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Yeah, doing well, thanks, doing well. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
So if anyone's seen these podcasts before, doing 3 sections, first my guest is going to share with us one of their songs, tell us a little bit about how they wrote that. Section 2, I'm going to ask Max to share with us a songwriting tip that might be useful for new songwriters. And then section 3, we're going to talk about a song that's meaningful to my guest in some way relating to bereavement. So I'm going to hand you over now. Do you want to introduce this song for us?
Yeah, this track that I sent you the other day. Basically, it's a new song that I've been working on. It's not really got a title at the moment, but we'll call it Out of Time just for a working title. And I've been writing a few songs in lockdown. I've been doing it, even though I've been working, I've been sort of like at night and things, writing a few new ideas down. I recorded an album a couple of years ago with the lads from Embrace, which are the lads from Yorkshire. And obviously I've not seen them for a bit, but I've been just getting some new ideas together. And this is just like a song that I've been working, as I say, for the last week or so. I mean, lyrically, Out of Time, it's really about when you feel that you may have had something together with somebody, or sort of you've wanted something with somebody and they've wanted it with you, and you realise that it's not really happening, it's not going to work out, and you feel that at that point you're out of time, basically. You've not got anything else you can do in the time scale that you've got. So it could be as in getting together or just seeing them again or whatever. So I was trying to get this sort of pattern: out of time, out of step, out of tears, so you know that you've cried enough about it. Out of years, which is one of the main lines of it. Out of years, we're out of years. I know I've counted them, we're out of years. It's basically, you feel that you've done it for so long, you just haven't got any time left to sort of get together, or you know, whether it's romantically or just as a friend, it's just you've really exhausted all the avenues, really. And that's what it's really about, the song.
Out of time, we're out of time. There's no way back when you're out of time. Out of step, we're out of step. It's hard to dance when you're out of step. And I won't show what is needed, and I won't say the words although you pleaded. It's not my way, it's not my way. It's not my way, it's not my way. And out of tears, we're out of tears. It's hard to cry when you're out of tears. Out of years, we're out of years. I know I've counted them, we're out of years. show what is needed. I won't hold back although you pleaded. It's not my way, it's not my way. It's not my way, it's not my way. Didn't wanna seem unkind, but things can always change your mind. I didn't want to find a way to say the words to make you stay, make you stay. Out of time, we're out of time. There's no way back when you're out of time. And out of step, we're out of step. It's hard to dance when you're out of step. And I won't show what is needed. And I won't show what is needed. And I won't show what is needed. Just my way, not my way. Yeah.
Okay, great stuff. So that was Out of Time is the working title, so it might change over time. We were saying.
I think the title will be in the chorus. It usually is, but to be honest with you, I tend to find that, you know, not always would I put a title which is the song or in the song. It could just be, you know, I've got a song called Song from the Outside, which is nothing to do with the actual lyrics. It's just a song that I feel that describes the song, really, you know. So that one, as I say, Out of Time, but it may change.
Cool. And so what else can you tell us about writing? You told us a little bit beforehand about the kind of themes of it. Did you, was there like, did you have the idea, or were the lyrics first, or do you go with the music first? Or?
Yeah, when I write songs, I tend to have lots of lyrical ideas. So I will, you know, have a little notepad, listen to things, even things on television, anything that I've heard around me. I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing, but, you know, people say things to you, or you hear things at work or whatever it is, and you just think, oh, that's interesting, I'll write that down. So I tend to I'm always writing lyrics down. People say my lyrics are always either, you know, sad or lonely or whatever, but I like to feel they're more hopeful. You know, they tend to always have like a sort of, if people listen to the songs, even though some people might think, yeah, they're sort of a bit sort of down, or they're a bit sort of like, you know, melancholy, something like that. I always feel that they're not really, they're sort of more sort of hopeful, or, you know, they always have a little twist in them that means that, yes, you know, you may be missing someone, but there's either a reason, or there's a refrain or something that brings it back around again. But yeah, songwriting wise, I tend to write a lot of lyrics and then, you know, put music to it, really. Or, you know, I don't tend to ever have the music and then the lyric afterwards. I tend to do it the other way around, you know, get the words in my head, write the words, get some music to it, that type of thing. But myself, I mean, I've always been a drummer, really. I play in other bands and I do a lot of drums for people, session drummers and things like that, you know, session drumming for different albums. You know, not famous people, but just people I've known. And I've only really been writing songs, as in guitar-wise, for sort of maybe 4 or 5 years. So this is a late thing for me, really, like playing guitar and being more like a singer, if you want to say singer-songwriter, that type of thing. You know, usually I'm sat at the back, but for this thing, obviously, whether I'm on my own or with a group of musicians, it is a bit different for me to be at the front. So over the last 4 or 5 years, I've sort of developed my chord knowledge up from about 4 to about 6, you know. So, but, you know, I don't feel that you need lots of chords to write good songs. So, You know, sometimes I know people who maybe write too many chords, and then sometimes I feel the song can suffer a bit because they try to fit the melody into lots of chords. Whereas with me, I try to keep the chords simple and let the melody sit over it. Well, I feel they're a bit more easy to listen to somehow, you know.
Yeah. What inspired you to start writing stuff and, you know, come from the drums to the front, and how have you found it so far? Like
doing a Phil Collins, basically.
Yeah.
No, what it was is, as I say, ever since I was little, I've always drummed. I've been in bands for many years, and you know, I've worked with a lot of great singers and great songwriters, and you know, I just thought one day, not so much that I wanted to be this person at the front, I just thought I'd give it a go. So I bought a guitar and just, you know, sat on the bed like anyone would do, developed some chords up, thought, let's have a go at writing a song. And, you know, I wrote a couple of ideas, basic ideas. It was really just so I could see myself if I could do it, really, more than anything. And people seemed to enjoy what I was doing. You know, I didn't do many gigs. I only did a couple of little gigs, sort of local things. And then luckily, through another band that I was in, I met the bass player Steve Firth, who was the bass player in Embrace, and we got chatting about music, and then we sort of developed, you know, a bit of a friendship sort of thing. And I played in some songs, and we took it from there. It was, you know, for me, it was a big thing to actually meet up with a band who had a lot of hits and travelled the world and things. And from being like nothing in like singer-songwriter terms, never done anything, to sort of jump into that area with, you know, working with them sort of lads, it was an amazing situation, you know. And the album that I say we made, you know, a lot of people like that album. It takes the songs up to another level. You know, when I play them on my own, they're quite chilled out, you know, just me sat there with acoustic guitar. With the band, it's obviously there's a bit more oomph about them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And what's that album called? Is that one that's available on your...
Yeah, that's called Between Light and Space. So there you go. That's the album.
Oh, nice.
I thought I'd put a little plug in there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the album. It's on vinyl and it's on CD. We haven't got many vinyls left. It's sold quite well on vinyl, but it is on Spotify. People can listen to it on Spotify. One-sided horse, Between Light and Space. As I say, it's a bit more anthemic than just me sat there with an acoustic guitar. But yeah, it's done well, and people seem to like that album.
Brilliant, good stuff. Yes, I encourage people to go and check that out. Let's move into section 2 in our shows. This is why I asked my guests to share with us a tip for new songwriters. So what tip would you like to share with us, Mark?
Well, I mean, you know, like, it's quite funny this, when you contacted me about doing this, through a friend who I've been talking to recently, Andy, it was quite weird because, you know, when people say a share a tip about songwriting, I'm thinking, well, I'm not a great songwriter compared to, let's say, Neil Young's and your blah, blah, blahs, you know. But I suppose everyone has their own way of doing it, you know. And for me, I suppose a tip that I always feel that you should write a song that you can be a fan of yourself. So I always like to sing a song and think of it as someone liking it, i.e. if I like the song, then I hopefully feel that other people will like it as well. If I don't like it, I don't think you're not going to portray it in the right way. You know, it's easy to do a song and think that'll do, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I think you should always feel that, what do your audience think? Would you enjoy listening to that song yourself? You know, always what I find to do with songs is, you know, practice them a lot. You know, I tend to do a strange thing, which is I do a lot of gigs to myself, which is imaginary gigs to an audience. So I try the songs out, not just playing them to myself, but thinking you're actually delivering them songs to people, you know. Yeah. Make the songs interesting. I always think melody is the main thing, you know. I always think you can get away with some words that might be a bit possibly cheesy, it may be a bit obvious, you know, I love you, whatever it is. But without a strong melody or a hook, I don't think it's great. I think you need to keep it, you know, keep it simple, but keep it, you know, very sort of, I won't say catchy, but sort of, you know, with a strong melody that people can hook onto.
Pleasing to the ear.
Well, that's it, you know. I mean, I did write a list of things. I haven't got it with me, unfortunately. I should have brought it. I should have it with me. A list of things that I tend to go through when I'm thinking about songwriting. You know, do this, don't do that type of thing, and there's lots of books on songwriting you can look at, obviously. And I think really you need to find your own area, never be afraid to, never be afraid to make a mistake, never be afraid to feel that, the song, even if it's not right, that it's one of the best songs, if you can show the confidence in your own music, I think people can pick that up. Be honest about it. Honest performances, I always feel, no matter how the song is going, be honest with yourself, be honest with the people who are listening, it's depends on what music you play, of course, but I think for this sort of thing, if you're going to write songs that are, fairly in my sort of area, which I suppose are more sort of like singer-songwriter love songs, let's say, I think they've got to have some sort of emotion, otherwise people just won't, not so much understand it, they just won't take it seriously, and that's how I feel I write songs, lots of emotion, lots of, not lots of chords, but hopefully lots of melody and lots of sort of like, confidence, basically. One thing I did say to Andy was always feel that when you're performing, that you're doing a Live Aid, you're doing a Freddie at Live Aid, you're coming across that, you're not, that's your audience. And, no matter it's one person or 10,000 people, what would Freddie Mercury do? He would command that audience, and I think that's a good thing to do if you can do it, which is not very easy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good one. I like the idea of having the list of your do's and don'ts for songwriting. How long a list is that? And
it's not very long. It's only about. Like, I'll find it. Let me just go. I'll find it quickly because I've got it on my phone here actually. Okay. When I sent it, and. I think it's just here. It's just literally little things that I feel that is good for myself, but possibly good for other people, to actually take on board. Just bear with me 1 second, I'll get it. You can edit it, this, obviously. So let me just get it for you. Where is it? Sorry about this.
That's all right. I put you on the spot a bit.
Yeah, but it's an interesting...
I've done it occasionally with like individual songs. If I'm writing a particular type of song, then I might have like a list of like, I want this song to do this, do this, do that. But I wouldn't. I don't have one that I do for every song. I kind of have like a different one each time, I guess. But maybe there's some things that I have unconsciously that I would try and do with every song, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's not necessarily every song I've ever written. I mean, I've got quite a lot of songs now. I think I've got probably over 100 songs that are in like a catalogue of songs that half finished, some are finished, sort of that type of thing. And I go back to them and I, tend to change them a lot, like all people probably do, just try and, develop them up. I mean, I'm struggling to find this. So if we carry on, I can... I'll find it and then you can maybe edit it in. I don't know.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, good stuff. So we're moving to the third section, shall we? If we find the list, we'll come back to it later. So this is where I ask my guests to choose a song that's meaningful to them in some way relating to bereavement. And what I do here is I put the link in the description. So if you're watching this and you're not familiar with the song, I'll ask Mark to introduce it in a moment. You can pause us here, go listen to that song, come back, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat about it. So what song did you choose for us, Mark?
Well, the song that I chose is one of my favourite songs of all time. And there's really two versions of this song. There's the version on the first album that this man did, which was a bit more the grandeur version. And there's also the version which I prefer, which is also the version that he prefers, I think, the piano version. The song is Here Comes the Flood by Peter Gabriel. And as I say, on the first album, it's got horns and strings and big guitars and drums. But on the album version, on the Shaking the Tree, the compilation album, or I think another album, he did it just with piano. Originally, he did it with piano with Robert Fripp on one of his albums, Robert Fripp albums, Exposure, and then he did the same sort of version for himself. And I just feel it's a more honest version. I think it comes across better. And it's a song that, personal to me, when my father died, I was only young, my dad died, I was only 17, just turned 17. And I was heavily into sort of Peter Gabriel, well, I still am, but I was into that sort of thing. It was 1982, and I just sort of got more into Peter Gabriel at the time. And that song, I just played it a lot. Now, it's not necessarily a song that's about bereavement or about anything like that, but it was just a song that I feel that, you know, I listen to a lot at night, and, you know, lyrically, it could have a bit of that sort of feel about it, you know. It could be about, you know, a feeling of loss or whatever, but it just really sort of meant something to that song. And it always has, so that's why I've chosen it.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's very powerful. And I kind of know what you mean of having certain songs that they might not necessarily be about bereavement, but I've got songs that I go to whenever something difficult's happening, not necessarily a bereavement but a heightened emotion thing. There's certain songs that I seem to go back to, like I'm drawn like a magnet in a way. Is that kind of what it's like for you? That it just kind of brings you back to it when you need it?
Yeah, I mean, another song, I mean, this is not the song that I've obviously chosen, but another one of those is Prince's song, Sometimes It Snows in April. That's another song that I feel has got that sort of similar feel. It's a different song, but it's got that same emotion. But I've chosen the Peter Gabriel song because I think it's up there. It's one of the best songs ever written. So
yeah, it's really,
I've
really
put it in
song.
there. Yeah.
Great stuff. Cool. Yeah, well, thanks a lot for your time, Mark. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'm sorry that I can't find that list.
It's all right.
As I say, it's on my phone usually, and it was in my documents, but I don't know why it's not there. It was things like, you know, like I already said, you know, be honest, you know, perform the song as you are a fan. So playing the song as though you are not only performing it, but also you are the listener as well. You know, that type of thing. You know, don't be afraid of messing up. If you're playing a live gig, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You know, sometimes some of my best gigs have been when I've made mistakes. People seem to feel it's not perfect, and there's a bit more affinity with you if you make the odd mistake and things. You know,
definitely. I think they're really good.
So that's all good.
Yeah, I think they're really good bits of advice, and I think practicing like you're performing is a really good one, and not being afraid to make mistakes. And I really appreciate you sending us the song, which is such a new one to you as well.
As I say, it's not finished. I could have chosen a few different songs, but I just felt that, you know, about that song I just feel it's got a nice message. You know, I mean, you can say it's not a nice message because you're sort of ending something and you're running out of time. But I think to me, it makes me feel like don't waste time more than anything. You know, if you feel there's something there that you should go, that's not just relationship terms. I mean, in anything. If you feel like you're going to go for it, then don't waste the time, because unfortunately time goes quick and you could end up losing it. So that's what it's about, really. Yeah,
great stuff. It's a great message and a great song. Thank you for your time, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
And encourage people to go and follow you. I'll tag your pages in this post, so you can go follow One-Sided Horse and check out that album as well. And sorry. I was going to say you.
No, I was going to say.
Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, I don't know when this goes out live or anything, but and it might have gone out live, or it might go out after this weekend. I don't know. It probably will do, but this weekend it's no good. It'll have gone now. But I was doing a thing in Salford. That's a charity gig, an online gig in Salford this weekend with Peter Hooks on and Graham Nash and lots of different people. But as I say, normally what I do a lot of is a lot of living room gigs. So in this room, I tend to do a lot of people do at the moment, you know, little Facebook live gigs and things. And I link that through a page I've got called Songs from the Living Room. So it's One-Sided or Songs from the Living Room. So I do a lot of them. Well, that's just what that was recorded from, the little clip.
Great stuff. I'll tag that in as well. People can check that out and
no problem.
And keep an eye on you. So thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate it.
Excellent. I'll email you that list as well. Then you can have a look at it.
Yeah, that'd be great. And,
all right, then.
Thanks, Mike. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back with another episode soon.